Okay, we've just finished our series on boasting in Christ, and I've talked about Christ being our righteousness, our holiness, and our redemption. So the question again comes up, well, what do we do with this? How is this even relevant? How do we make it relevant in our lives? And my answer is still the same. It's very simple. We actually boast in Christ. We make Christ our boast. Okay? all of our joy and our rejoicing is in him, so that we're coming before God and we're coming into his presence and we're giving him thanks and we're giving him praise and we're saying, Father, thank you so much that you have placed me in Christ, and because you've done that, you've made me righteous, you've given me peace, and you've given me access into all of the blessing and favor of heaven. Because Christ lives in me, I have the power that separates me from all of the corruption of the world and brings me closer to you and causes me to live more and more for your glory. Thank you for this work of redemption that's reclaiming every area of my life. Okay, I'm in that place. I'm rejoicing in him. I'm celebrating him. I can't tell you how that works, but faith is what claims who Christ is for us. I wanted to tell you a story from 2 Corinthians chapter 5. It's the story of Naaman the leper. Now, he has captured this little girl. She's an Israelite girl, and she is convinced that if he were to go to Elijah the prophet would be able to cure him of his leprosy. So he goes down to visit Elijah the prophet, and Elijah gives him something to do. He says, I want you to go to the Jordan, and I want you to dip in the Jordan 7 times. And Naaman gets upset. He's offended. He's going to go back home, and his servant stops him. Wow. And he says to him, listen, Naaman, okay, master, if he had asked you to do something great, okay, if he had asked you to do something that you could actually boast about, something that required something of you, okay, you would have done it in a heartbeat. But because he's asking you to do something that would humble you, okay, you're going to walk away from the very cure that's yours. Okay, and here's what's going on. Okay, the Jordan River represents, okay, crossing from the wilderness into the promised land. It represents a people preparing their hearts through baptism for the coming of Christ. It represents Christ consecrating his body for the finished work of salvation. That Jordan River is all about Christ. And Naaman is going down. It's a dirtier river than the rivers that is in Syria, but he's going down and he's completely saturating himself. He's going down 7 times until he is completely enveloped in the reality of the waters of the Jordan. And what I'm talking to you about is I'm talking about something that's humble. It doesn't make a lot of sense. It just happens in the privacy of your prayer life. It's you actually in that place before God, going down humbly and saturating yourself. No boasting in you, only boasting in Christ. This is who Christ is. This is who Christ is. This is what you've made Christ to be. This is who Christ is living in me. And you completely saturate your mind, your heart in the reality of Christ, and somehow you come up changed. That is the power of Christ.